Have you ever been told that once a woman turns 50, she should keep her hair simple and forget about style? Many of us have heard that message whispered somewhere along the way, and some may have even started to believe it. But the truth is, your hair can still be the spark that makes you shine, even after 60. The secret is not about chasing youth. It is about finding the right style that honors who you are today. For women in America over 50, our hair is never just hair. It carries our confidence, our identity, and even our personal history. At this stage of life, we want something that feels easy to care for but still elegant, something that shows grace while celebrating our individuality. In this video, I will share with you 4 beautiful hairstyles that do exactly that. They are practical, timeless, and designed to make you feel radiant in your own skin. Each one comes with stories of real women who found new joy through their hair, along with simple tips that can help you do the same. Before we dive in, I invite you to subscribe so you never miss more inspiration like this. And please, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me which style speaks to you, or how you express your own beauty these days. Stay with me until the end, because I will reveal one uplifting truth about hair after 60 that might just change how you see yourself in the mirror forever. 1. Short tapered cut, a bold transformation. The short tapered cut has quickly become one of the most empowering hairstyle choices for women over 50 in the United States. It is youthful, chic, and most importantly, practical. At this stage of life, many of us want a style that highlights our best features without demanding hours of upkeep. The tapered cut does exactly that. It frames the face beautifully, draws attention to the eyes and cheekbones, and has a way of softening fine lines that naturally come with age. For women who feel weighed down by long layers, this haircut is often the refreshing change they have been waiting for. It is more than a style. It is a statement that says, "I am confident, modern, and proud of the woman I am today." I think every woman has that moment when she looks in the mirror and realizes her hairstyle no longer reflects the vibrant person she feels inside. That is often when the decision to try a tapered cut happens, and the transformation can be powerful. I remember one of my clients, Linda, who was 58 when she walked into my salon. She had worn her hair at shoulder length for decades and confessed that she was exhausted by the time it took every morning to blow dry and curl it just to feel presentable. I suggested she consider a tapered cut, leaving a bit more length on the crown so she could enjoy some natural volume. When she saw herself after the cut, her eyes lit up. She told me she had not seen her face look that fresh in years. Later that week, she called me and laughed as she shared that her coworkers and even her granddaughter said she looked 10 years younger. What really touched me, though, was her saying she felt lighter, freer, and more confident than she had in decades. Her story reminded me of my own. At 62, I finally took the plunge and cut my hair short after years of holding on to longer styles. I was nervous, worried that a shortcut might make me look older, but the opposite happened. Friends immediately noticed how my smile stood out and how my eyes sparkled more. That was the moment I realized short hair does not take away femininity at all. The right cut actually highlights it. Caring for a tapered cut is surprisingly simple. A quick trim every 4 to 6 weeks will keep the shape crisp and flattering. If you want to brighten things up, subtle highlights in caramel, honey, or even a soft copper can add dimension without overwhelming your natural beauty. When it comes to styling, you do not need a cabinet full of tools and sprays. A lightweight cream or gel to shape the texture and a touch of hydrating oil are often all it takes. Most mornings, I simply run my fingers through my hair, add a little product, and I am ready to face the day. So let me ask you this. What would it feel like to wake up tomorrow, run your hands through your hair, and already look polished without spending more than a few minutes in front of the mirror? For many women, that sense of freedom is the very reason they fall in love with the short tapered cut. It is not just a haircut. It is a fresh start, a confidence booster, and a celebration of the woman you are right now. And once you embrace it, you may discover that your hair is not simply about style anymore. It becomes a reminder of how far you have come and how radiant you still are. 2. Twist out, soft, natural, and graceful. The twist out is one of the most beloved hairstyles for women over 50 because it enhances the natural beauty of textured hair without relying on damaging heat. As we age, our hair tends to become more fragile, often drier and more prone to breakage. That is why so many women find comfort in styles that respect the health of their strands. A twist out is gentle, safe, and incredibly flattering. It brings out the natural curl pattern while keeping the hair soft and touchable. For women who may have avoided their natural texture in the past, this style can feel like a homecoming. I will never forget the story of Angela, a 62-year-old grandmother who decided to try a twist out before attending her granddaughter's birthday party. She told me she wanted to look nice but did not want to spend hours in the salon. So she sectioned her hair, applied a leave-in conditioner and a little oil, twisted it carefully, and let it set overnight. The next day, she unraveled the twists and was stunned by the soft curls that framed her face. At the party, her daughter leaned over and said, "Mom, you look absolutely radiant." Even her teenage grandchildren, who rarely comment on hairstyles, told her she looked amazing. Angela said it was the first time in years that she felt her hair reflected who she truly was, and it gave her such a boost of confidence. I can also speak from my own experience. At 64, I tried my first twist out after years of relying on rollers and blow dryers. I was nervous it might come out frizzy or uneven, but when I unraveled those twists, I felt like I had rediscovered my natural beauty. The curls felt soft, bouncy, and real. When I walked into church that Sunday, one of my friends pulled me aside and asked what new stylist I had gone to. She could not believe I had done it myself at home. That moment reminded me that sometimes the simplest choices bring the most joy. Caring for a twist out is not complicated. The key is moisture. Always start with clean, well-conditioned hair. A light cream or leave-in product will help define the curls, while a little natural oil like argan or jojoba adds shine. Make sure the twists are completely dry before unraveling, otherwise the style will not last. At night, covering your hair with a satin bonnet or sleeping on a satin pillowcase will protect the curls and extend the life of the style for several days. What I love most is how low-cost this routine can be. You do not need expensive tools or weekly salon visits, just a bit of patience and care. Let me ask you, when was the last time you tried something new with your hair and truly loved the result? Do you still give yourself permission to experiment, or have you been playing it safe for too long? Imagine waking up to soft, defined curls that bring out your natural glow, and hearing your loved ones say you look refreshed and radiant. Wouldn't that be worth a little extra effort the night before? The twist out is not just about curls. It is about embracing yourself with softness and grace. It is about letting your natural hair shine in a way that feels authentic. And as we continue exploring more styles, you will see that there are even more ways to celebrate who you are today while keeping life beautifully simple. 3. Box braids. Elegant, protective, and timeless. Box braids have always been more than just a hairstyle. For many women, especially those of us over 50, they represent both beauty and practicality. At this stage of life, a hairstyle that looks polished yet requires little daily effort feels like a gift. Box braids provide exactly that. They protect fragile hair, reduce the stress of constant styling, and at the same time offer a timeless elegance that never goes out of style. In a world where our schedules are often full of family commitments, social activities, and sometimes even travel, having a hairstyle that can keep up with our lifestyle is invaluable. I often think of one of my clients, Marilyn, who was 65 when she prepared for a cross-country trip with her husband. She was excited about the adventure, but worried about how she would manage her hair on the road. Hotels, long drives, unpredictable weather, and family visits made her nervous about staying presentable without the comfort of her regular routine. She decided to try box braids, and when she returned, she could not stop talking about how easy her trip became. She told me she woke up each morning, shook her braids out, added a touch of oil to her scalp, and was ready for the day. From sightseeing to family dinners, her hair looked just as neat on day 10 as it did on day 1. She admitted she felt not only beautiful but also completely stress-free. I can relate to her story. At 61, I decided to wear box braids for the first time before visiting my sister out of state. I had always admired younger women with their braids but thought maybe I was too old to try them. I quickly learned there is no age limit on this style. In fact, people often complimented me, saying the braids made me look vibrant and confident. They also gave me a sense of freedom I had not felt in years. I did not have to worry about my natural hair drying out or breaking off. I simply enjoyed my trip and my time with family, knowing my hair was taken care of. Maintenance is easier than many expect. The key is to keep the scalp clean and comfortable. I like to use a gentle cleanser or diluted shampoo once a week to remove buildup. A light oil, such as jojoba or tea tree, helps keep the scalp moisturized and healthy. At night, wrapping the braids in a silk or satin scarf keeps them neat and reduces frizz. These small habits make the style last longer and keep it looking fresh. For anyone considering box braids, I always recommend choosing a stylist with experience working on mature hair and sensitive scalps. A professional touch makes all the difference in comfort and longevity. So let me ask you, have you ever skipped an event or avoided a trip because you were worried about how your hair would hold up? Can you imagine the relief of knowing you could wake up every day of your vacation already looking put together? That peace of mind alone makes box braids worth trying. Box braids are elegant and empowering, but they are also practical in a way that brings freedom to your daily life. And as we continue exploring other styles, you will see there are even more ways to embrace both beauty and simplicity at this stage of life. 4. High puff, quick, elegant, and instantly lifting. The high puff has become one of my favorite hairstyles for women over 50 because it is quick, elegant, and has the wonderful effect of instantly lifting the face. In just a few minutes, you can create a style that brightens your features and makes you look refreshed without spending an hour in front of the mirror. For women like us, who often want to balance beauty with practicality, the high puff is a blessing. It is not complicated, it is not expensive, and it always makes a statement. I remember a story that still makes me smile. A woman I know, Deborah, who was 60 at the time, wore a high puff to her son's wedding. She told me she had been nervous about what to do with her hair for such a special day. She wanted something elegant but not overly fussy, something that would last from the ceremony to the late-night dancing. She finally decided on a high puff, adding a delicate headband for a touch of sparkle. The compliments poured in all day long. Guests told her she looked radiant, and her son whispered that she looked beautiful when she walked into the room. Deborah later admitted it was one of the few times in her life when she felt her hairstyle truly matched her personality. It was effortless but still sophisticated, exactly what she wanted for such an important day. I can share my own experience as well. At 63, I started wearing high puffs for church on Sundays, and even for lunch dates with friends. The first time I tried it, I was surprised by how much younger I looked. Pulling the curls upward not only highlighted my cheekbones, but also gave my face a gentle lift. I no longer felt the need to hide behind longer layers or heavy styling. I walked out of the house in less than 10 minutes, yet I felt put together and confident. One of my friends even joked that I looked like I had discovered the fountain of youth. The beauty of the high puff is that it requires very little. All you need is a soft fabric band or satin scrunchie, a brush, and a touch of styling gel if you prefer a sleek finish. I often recommend adding accessories like a colorful scarf or a metallic clip to personalize the look. At night, I wrap the base of my hair with a satin scarf to keep the edges smooth. In the morning, a quick fluff is all it takes to refresh the puff. So let me ask you, how often do you put off social events because you do not feel like dealing with your hair? Can you imagine having a go-to style that takes less than 5 minutes yet makes you feel instantly polished? Wouldn't it be a relief to know that elegance can be that simple? The high puff is more than a hairstyle. It is a confidence booster, a way to lift not only your features but also your spirit. It proves that beauty does not always require effort or complication. And as we move forward, you will find that there are even more ways to embrace styles that are simple, graceful, and perfectly suited to the life you are living now. As we close, remember this. Whether it is a bold, short, tapered cut, a soft twist out, elegant box braids, or a quick high puff, each of these styles has the power to bring you back to yourself. They are not about turning back the clock or chasing a younger version of who you used to be. They are about honoring the woman you are today, with all the beauty, wisdom, and confidence that life has given you. Age has never been a barrier to beauty. Your hair is more than strands. It is a silent declaration of self-worth, a reflection of your story, and a reminder that you still deserve to feel radiant every single day. So let me ask you, which of these 4 styles speaks to your heart? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your story might inspire another woman who is watching. And if you have been holding back from trying something new, let this be your sign. After 50, life is not about limitations. It is about freedom, joy, and living beautifully on your own terms.